I don't even go here anymore. So coming back home and eating some theater popcorn, so great. So I was going to do a walk around video of just loitering. I found just loitering around communities here in the north is kind of a fun video idea, but it's already daytime and I don't really want to go and film myself during the daytime. So let's just do hot takes from what I think should be better here in the north. Here in Hay River, for some reason, there's no cab service. None. So I work at an airport, and a lot of times that airport has to have cab service. But this community has an airport and there's no cab service, so when people get dropped off, they just have to figure it out on their own. So that's gripe number one with Hay River right now, is no cab service. Some of the other things that I've realized now that I live in a slightly smaller community, I live in Fort Smith, Northwest Territories lately. So much work over there. I'm just always working lately. But anyways, one of the things that I find also really kind of interesting is no local radio stations is kind of a drag. Here in Hay River, there's a local radio station. Well, there's a Yellowknife radio station that is broadcasted, but it has Hay River ads on it, so it feels kind of local. And there's none of that in the smaller communities here in Northwest Territories, like, well, in Fort Smith, for one example, they got CBC, but I'm not going to be listening to talk radio all day. And I just want something to, like, dictate me some music. Anyways, that's one that bothers me to some degree, just driving around and there's no radio stations on when you go from A to B in your vehicle. The other one that is kind of small and understandable is no local paper. So, Fort Smith doesn't have a local paper. Hay River does have a local paper. Seeing local events in a paper, it just seems so wholesome, and I don't get to partake in that anymore. So in Smith, I just have to rely on Facebook classifieds. I don't even really want to be on Facebook in 2024, yet here we are still using it for the community adverts. It's very bizarre that people do that. No real internet competition or cell services as well. So you're kind of stuck with like Northwest Tel. Starlink's coming into a play now, so a lot of people up here have Starlink, but for the most part, the only internet package you're allowed to get is like Northwest Tel, and cell services, Rogers doesn't come up here. So if you were thinking of coming up here and your current cell service provider is Rogers Mobility, nope, they're just not going to freaking come up here anytime soon. I remember when the very first iPhone 1 came out, and I was thinking back then, oh, I hope Rogers comes up here, because they were the first ones to have service to the iPhone. You couldn't have an iPhone unless you were signed up with Rogers Mobility, like for the first year anyway. And I remember just thinking that, oh, well, they'll probably come up here. That was like 15 years ago and they never did, so I'm not counting my chickens on that one anymore. Is there anything else? I gotta think now. Those were just the top ones off the top of my head. Basically, I'm just gonna compare Hay River to Fort Smith probably in the next couple of takes, but one that I really like here in Hay River, which is not apparent in Fort Smith, maybe eating popcorn and talking's not a great idea, but is fish shops. The fish shop is one of those things that they don't have in most communities. They have one here in Hay River, and like a couple episodes here on this channel are me showcasing that place. It's just freaking awesome. There's no fish shops in any communities other than Yellowknife that are like available on a normal service. Like Fort Smith has like some sort of thrift swap flea market. I don't even know. It's like a farmer's market, I think, at the bottom of the church basement, in the middle of town. I've never been to it just because it's kind of a little too secluded for my liking. I just want to casually, like, you know, go to like a thrift shop on a Thursday afternoon. And yeah, that option isn't available. Okay, well, maybe I didn't have as much on the top of my head as I thought. Anywho, Bastank, thanks for joining me. I'm just here in Hay River for the day. I just came in to drop off some tax stuff, and now I'm going to go back to Smith. But I always like coming and revisiting this location. So we'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.